I got these little gray hairs. They're like salt and pepper. So for today's episode, I want to talk about things that I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of roll with it. There's no one subject matter. I'm just gonna go with the flow and see what comes through. And that is the power of choice. And we don't realize just how much power we have in this world. And I think we feel like we're often stifled because of things like employment and money and whatever. But at the end of the day, we choose every single thing that's in front of us. You chose to be born, shocked. I think you are. You chose to pick your parents, shocked. You picked these parents? I don't think so. Yes, so you choose to show up every day to a job that you hate with a burning passion. Me? Show up to that? Yes. The reason behind the why, some of it's complex. A lot of it has to do with like soul journeys, soul plans, certain things that you need to learn and expand. Oh, well, I didn't choose this and that. My human would never choose this and that. But your human didn't. Your soul did. Your higher self did. And I explained in one video, maybe the last one, where it's like, okay, there's so much depth to the other side and so many different layers, but when we're on the other side, everything is like incredible. There's no pain. You are literally experiencing like the highest level of love, the highest vibration. So, and also like again, time is linear. Time doesn't exist. This human experience is just a tiny blip. So, it's nothing compared to, I mean, like you truthfully could have had thousands of lives. You don't know that. You can't say you haven't because you don't know that, but you could have. And once you cross over, you'll see. But all of that to say is that like this is truly a choice. It's a choice for you to be here. It's a choice that you show up. It's a choice that you get out of bed every day. It's a choice if you don't get out of bed. It's a choice if you want to learn how to do something new in life. It's a choice if you choose to sit on your phone every day for the rest of your life, doom scrolling. Everything is a choice. You choose what you want to eat. Oh no, someone chose that for me. Pooh, that stinks. Well, choose something else. So I think that it's not as easy and as black and white. I understand that there are gray areas, but really at the end of the day, and ultimately, we choose every single thing. And you can also choose to have faith. And I think that that's something that a lot of the times I struggle with. And I think that it's one of the harder things for me with an internal battle because here I am, right, talking a big talk and walking a big walk. And how dare I question something that I'm preaching about? And I think it's because I'm a human being. And I think that that's a realistic viewpoint. And I think that we don't hear about enough people's struggles. And so I'm here to share them. What we're met with is social media and this facade of perfectionism. And that's just not real. Like, we'll see girls like dancing in the forest, cuddling a stream, being surrounded by fairies, foraging berries, picking their squash from their garden and making soups and all this and that. And it's so cozy and they've got a crackling fire and all these incredible, beautiful things. But then, like, what we don't see is them setting up their camera and like walking away from it and then having to return and walk and pick up their camera and reset their angle, and how much work goes into what they're creating and how many different angles they have to get and how many different ring lights they probably own. I have no idea. But I think because we're in this place where we have this comparison, where we have these people, we don't realize that like this girl who has a million followers, who looks like she created the word Zen. There's no way that she struggles with her faith. Look at her. She's perfect. And it's like, it's not the reality. I receive signs, I receive messages, I receive downloads, and like I feel like I should be the last person to question anything, but like sometimes I do. Sometimes I am like, hold on. Should I go to the doctor? Like, should I get this thing checked out? I really do. And it doesn't even seem like this purple feather that I have. Sometimes I'm so strong in my faith that this came from my guides, and it doesn't make sense for it not to. Like, to me, it's like abso-freaking-lutely. But other times I question it and I'm like, well, it could have just been there because someone was doing arts and crafts and like, but that's not the point. The point is just the fact that I question things, and we're not taught that that's like the actual norm. And I think that most of us think that there's this like level of perfectionism or a certain level that we have to achieve in order to be more spiritual and more aligned and more attuned. And that's not true either. And I think that no matter how far you are in your spiritual journey, you are still some days going to pause and be like, wait a second, am I nuts? Should I record this video? Should I say that? Do I do that? And I think that's because us being human, we have an ego, and the ego is designed to protect us. The ego is designed to do what the ego does, right? And it's not just like being a narcissist. No, it's truly about like the fact that like your ego is putting you in a place of like protection. Like, okay, so I don't, let's just say I don't like my hair today, right? I don't really love the flip thing that's happening. Okay, well, my ego is like, okay, well, your hair looks dumb, so maybe you shouldn't record because your hair looks dumb. And like you feel uncomfortable. So, like, you should probably record when you're feeling more comfortable. And I think that it's like, well, okay, well, who cares about my hair flip? If you care about my hair flip, you're here for the wrong reason. And that's the ultimate thing that like you have to lean into in terms of choosing faith, choosing the higher road, choosing to ignore certain things that don't really align with that higher vibration, and having perseverance, pushing through and committing to yourself, choosing to commit to yourself, choosing that the the whole thing of like recalling the reason why you're doing what you're doing doesn't make you a better person, doesn't make you a better sister, a better friend, a better partner, a better pizza, Papa John's. Does it align to the highest vibration of love? Like, if that's why you're doing it, then you know that there's no reason to doubt, but it's okay if you doubt, because you are a human being. You're not a machine, you're not a robot. You're allowed to have really bad days, you're allowed to have really bad months, but just remembering to come back to like the why, and why you're choosing to show up. Why do you choose to do what you do? Understanding the why behind the purpose is going to help you flourish and to continue having perseverance, and to continue to fall back on your faith, even if your faith gets shaky. Because I don't know one person out there who is 110% sure of themselves all the time. It's just not possible. And if you are, cool beans, I don't believe you. We are not bred to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfectionism. There really isn't. Although my mom makes a pretty perfect chicken parm, there's there's really no such thing as perfect. And remembering that you are a human being, that you are not free of error, that you're meant to screw up, you are meant to have flaws, you are meant to have hurdles, because these hurdles are meant to be like overcome. These things are meant to help us grow and expand beyond the point of where we are today, if you choose, right? Every single thing in life is a choice at the end of the day. You choose happiness. Yes, you can be happy without having to choose it, but you have to choose to want to go in that direction. And then also, reminder, I think I said this in a video or two ago, the universe is going to support the energy that you decide to have, that you decide to put out. So if you are choosing positivity, if you are choosing things to radiate higher, to vibrate higher, the universe is going to support that. You can also choose to vibrate lower and do things that don't really benefit your life, but whatever, it's a choice. It doesn't even matter what you choose. Just know that the support is going to be met by the universe, good or bad. Also, there is no such thing as good or bad. I shouldn't have even said that, but guess what? I did. It just is. We define things as being good and bad. Now, I shouldn't say good and bad like it should be just like better or worse for who we are, right? Because like if we choose to vibrate lower, is that necessarily the better choice? Probably not. If you're doing things that hurt you, is that the better choice? Probably not. That's probably the worst choice out of like the higher road. But again, you're not wrong for choosing what you choose. It's a part of your soul's journey. You're not wrong for wanting to dip down and dip low. Hey, you're not wrong for wanting to sulk. You're not wrong for wanting to curse somebody out. You're not wrong for wanting to punch someone in the face. But just remember, you're allowed to have these moments of weakness because you're a human being and because you're not perfect and because perfection just doesn't truly exist. But where you can improve is choosing the higher road. Where you can improve is choosing things that align with your higher self, a better, higher frequency. Just because if you want, like, you can't just choose to be a piece of shit and expect good things to happen. They might, but it's not going to be consistently good. And you're not going to feel good inside. Really, you won't. There's going to be jealousy. There's going to be things like anger, judgment, comparison in a different way. Now, again, you can choose to be a piece of shit. You can choose to live life however you want. My goal isn't to tell you how to live. My goal is to help you get to a better place. And again, working on that mind, body, soul connection, that balance, creating things that help you elevate. Because when you elevate, you are truly more aligned with the high vibration of love. And that is where your soul exists, in that highest vibration of God energy, source energy, love. And if you have ever needed a place of comparison, I've never felt that way before. Listen, I'm sorry if you've never felt that way before, but you can choose to try to figure out how to feel that way. And you can choose to try to figure out how to find those missing puzzle pieces to get you there, because it does exist. If it didn't exist, I wouldn't be here talking about it. And again, I'm someone who has been at the lowest of lows, and I have chosen to sulk for years. I have chosen to treat myself poorly for years. And then I also switched and I chose to treat myself with love. I chose to treat myself with respect. I chose to treat myself with the understanding and compassion that I didn't always have from people or even myself. Like, I didn't always have compassion for myself. This is all a choice, and the choice is yours. And no matter what you choose, you're not wrong. There is no bad here. It's just going to be a different, harder journey for you. Again, there's nothing wrong with choosing things that are lower vibrating. There really isn't. I don't think you're a bad person. I think that people just are. And I think that we forget and we dehumanize certain things. And I think we put people on pedestals when we're literally all cut from the same cloth. There's nothing more important about me than you, than Kim Kardashian, than, I don't even know, the Pope. There's like, we're all cut from the same cloth. And just kind of coming back to your center, reminding yourself the reason why you're choosing to do what you're doing is going to help you stay aligned, and it's going to help you kind of just recommit to yourself, even when the times get tough, even when you're not feeling so hot, even when you hate your hair, even when you just want to sulk around for days on end. Like, this week was not a fun week for me, and it should have been a fun week for me. I had really good news. It was pretty productive. And a couple days I chose to cry. But it also felt really good to cry. Not going to deny that. But it's like I'm also choosing to give myself that time to be negative and now give myself the time to be positive. So it's okay. The pendulum swings. And that's all that matters, is that you recognize that you're a human being. You are not free of error, that life is hard, that you don't have to be a good person all the time, that you don't have to be better than anybody else. Just be you, and remember that you can vibrate high if you choose, and you can be met with incredible things if you allow yourself to. And that's really it. It's not complicated. It's very easy peasy lemon squeezy. Again, life is a gray area. There's nothing black and white in life. There is truly no special tricks in terms of life, whatever. You just have to keep rolling with the punches, keep getting back up on that saddle, and just keep persevering and remember why you're deciding to do what you do. And that will help you remain kind of on track. And if you ever need support, I am here for you. You've got this. Don't give up. But if you do, that's okay. But it'd be cooler if you stayed on track. I'm here for you all. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Talk to you soon.